Before we start, I want to play a little game, 1-minute game with you. It's about stereotypes. Because you all know that there are lots of stereotypes about Russia, and there are some real stories and some false stories. So the game is called True or False. I will tell you the thing, and you will raise your right hand if it's true, and raise your left hand if it's false. So Russia is a very cold country. Is it true? Absolutely. Yes, you're right. Russia is huge. Okay. We all drink vodka for breakfast. Okay. I rose my right hand. That's true. We have wild bears on the streets. Wild animals. That's false. Them. So my first toy when I was a childhood was matryoshka. True or false? Well, that's also false. So basically, yeah, there are all stereotypes that you know, but there are also mobile stereotypes about Russian mobile markets, and I want to speak to you about them. So during my presentation, apart from speaking about stereotypes and this fun stuff about mobile markets, I really want to give you an overview of Russian mobile market in general, and I want to show you case studies. So you will see examples of some global guys, global Chinese, American, and European countries on Russian markets, and you will see how they reached success there. So here is the agenda that you can check it out with real cases, with pain and glory. And let's start. So basically, like, the first stereotype about Russia is market size. Some companies, they really think that Russian mobile market is not that big. And then they are very surprised when they find out that it's number 5 market by the number of app installs. So that is huge. And there are more than 50 million smartphones in Russia, and this number is growing. So it means for you that you can get lots of mobile users in Russia, and your app can become very successful there in this market. The second stereotype will be the social status of the audience. So as Russian people, they don't work, they play balalaika all the time and drink vodka. That's why some global companies think that they don't earn money to pay for in-app purchases. But that's also a huge stereotype, because if you look at these guys, these are the top apps by revenue in Russia by the statistics of a penny. So there are Alextech, Machine Zone, Supercell, and guys like that. And these guys, they earn very good money in Russia, and they actually know what they are doing. So you can do the same. You can be like them in Russian market. So yeah, in reality, Russian market looks like a huge tank. And the next one is about complexity. In this case, I really understand global guys who are scared to go to new markets, because you never know what to expect there. You don't know whether the interface will be understandable. You don't know if accounting team will be speaking your language. And it's scary, it's new. And I want to break this stereotype, because as for my company, myTarget by mail.ru, we have a very friendly accounting team who can support you with all the issues you have. We have our interface translated into English, and of course, like, you can integrate the API and use it in your own interface, so it will be very handy for you. And also, the very good example is that more than half of our clients, 61% of our clients, are global companies. So basically, these guys are from China, from United States, from Europe, and they know what they're doing, and they really see a huge potential in Russian market, getting lots of good quality users there. So yeah, Matryoshka is quite simple to use, yeah. And the next one will be about Russian specific. So I want you to understand one thing about Russian market, that The device share is different there from United States, for example, because we have very big Android reach in Russia. Android is almost 3 times bigger than iOS. It means that if you have your application on Android, or if you plan to have to in Android, you should definitely promote it in Russia because you will have a huge audience there. So to tell you the numbers, there are around 15 million mobile users on iOS and around 40 million mobile users on Android. So the numbers are quite big, so you can get all this audience. And yes, as for the applications, that also will be a surprise for you because in all the countries, in most of the countries, Facebook is incredibly popular. For example, if you go to United States, you start using Facebook for promotion. If you go to Russia, it's all about localization. You need to use local partners and you need to use local social networks. That's why please use VK for promotion. VK is incredibly huge in Russia. So we have Russian social networks like vk.com and ok.ru. They belong to our company, and they are several times bigger than Facebook in Russia. And yeah, also very cool stuff about our country, I don't know if I should be proud of that or not, is that most of the people don't speak English. I probably shouldn't be proud of that. So only 7% of people speak English in Russia. What does it mean for you? What do you think? Raise your hand if you know the answer. Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. So you need to localize your application. Localization is incredibly important. So localize everything you can. And it means that if you want to get the most of the users, you need to make your ads with Russian text. You need to put text in Russian on banners and so on. Yeah, localize it. And yeah, very quickly, an introduction of our platform called myTarget. So basically, myTarget is a platform that belongs to our company Mail.ru. And Mail.ru owns all the internet, all the traffic in Russia, like 93%. Very shortly, it's #1 publisher in Russia by a penny statistics. It has lots of employers. You can see the building where we sit. It's 27 floors. We have our football field there, and we made it a skating rink this winter, so all the employers could come and skate there. And it owns the biggest Russian social networks. So basically, like having this big amount of traffic, we decided to create one platform which would give you access to all this traffic. You need to go to just one interface, and then you choose in which platform, in which social network you want to make a promotion. You can choose them separately, or you can choose them all together. And that will be like incredibly handy for you. And yes, it will give you access to over 50 million mobile active users for your applications. So before I do case studies, before I show you case studies from our global companies, here are the average benchmarks you can expect to see. So basically, the average CPI, which is important, probably information for you, is around $1. Of course, it depends a lot. It depends from category to category. For example, for utilities, it may be 30 cents. For dating, it may be $1. For RPG games, it may be 1.5. And the most interesting parts, of course, the case studies. So let's do it. The first one, I love it. It's a case study by Chinese publisher called R2 Games. The game is called EZPZ. And being an RPG game, they had absolutely amazing results. For example, having CPI 1.1 for RPG game is quite cool. Basically, what they did to reach that result, they just did quite a simple thing. They started to use tracking smarter, in a smarter way. They found out that most of the users which paid inside the applications, they had the latest versions of iOS. So they stopped all the banners, all the campaigns with the old versions of iOS and just kept on working with the new ones. The next one, this one is amazing. This is a banner of Wargaming. It's very engaging because it seems like the tank breaks the glass of your iPad. That's quite scary. And like making these engaging banners, it helped them to reach success too, because people like it. People like to see like creative things on the picture. And also the thing that they made was starting Android promotion. They didn't do it before, they only did iOS. And when they start Android promotion, they increased the installs more than twice. And the SCR grew a lot in case of Wargaming. Sorry, I clicked it too fast. You can take pictures if you want. The next one is Dance City. This one is very fresh because I got it like, I don't know, 2 hours ago. My designer sent to me the case, and it's amazing because you can see the case of casual game. It's casual dancing game. They came to Russian market not long ago. It's a Chinese publisher, and just in 2 weeks they became top 1 in their category in Google Play. So basically, in 2 weeks, they spent around $4,000, and they got 5,000 daily active users in 2 weeks. And then they now are getting around 8,000 users daily, which is absolutely normal in myTarget. You can get several times more daily active users through our platform. So you can see the results which they were getting. The interesting thing is that retention rate on the day 1 was 50%, which is quite good for a game. And what they used were narrow targetings. So they basically used targetings for people who are interested in anime, in dancing, in games. And that was their audience. And they targeted female audience because male didn't work for them. You can see that the guys which are on the banner, they look like anime. So they found out that anime fans is their audience. And yes, this one, very shortly. This is a game Evolution by myCom. So basically, you can see that CPI is not that cheap for Russia, because in Russia it's usually cheaper. But when you look at ROI, you just don't care about CPI anymore. They have ROI 279%. I didn't even know that it was possible. So that way they were quite successful. And yes, now the most interesting part, probably one of the most interesting parts of our presentations. I want to invite my colleague Stas to the stage. He will tell you more about ways to monetize your applications, because of course you have different options, but there is additional monetization, so he will tell you what you can do additionally. Hey, Stas.
Hey. Hello. Thank you for the intro, Irina.
Tell us more about that, please.
Yeah. I know that everyone is tired on the final day of the event, so I'll try to be quick. Let me shed some light on what service we provide to publishers. As you know, only a small percentage of your users pay for in-apps. Well, it's just how free-to-play works. And our suggestion is quite simple, is just to show ads. That keeps your ROI higher and helps you to monetize every user you have.
And how does it work? Like, what should the guys do to integrate it, to use it?
Integration is quite simple. It depends what's convenient to you, actually. We support lots of different ways. It can be direct SDK, it can be JavaScript X, it can be API, or we can walk through different mediation platforms. We support lots of them. Couple of words about, well, our product itself. As Irina already told you, local partners have always better understanding of the market, and biggest ones like us have everything you need to get highest revenue. Our product based on audience data, so that means we actually know your users from our social networks. and we have big set of advertisers from all over the world. That gives you the highest CPM and fill rates you could possibly have. And last but not the least, we have even a separate moderation team to review all the ads we send to publishers to be sure that everything is safe.
Sounds cool. Nice. So yeah, I think Stas can share more details with you because we are out of time now, and I'll try to show the last slide, if you guys allow it to me. Basically, it's the summary in 1 minute. So just remember the few things which are incredibly important in Russia. Localize everything that you can. Localize your app, try to localize your feedback in the App Store and everything. Use tracking smarter. And you know that we have all the tracking partners for that, so we are integrated with all of them. Targeting specifics for gamers, the important thing for you will be to target gaming audience. So you can target people who are interested in games, who play games on our platforms, who are interested in your specific category. And yes, and the most important part, stay in touch with myTarget manager, which will be me and Stas, and we are responsible for making you guys happy in Russian market. That's it. That's my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Questions?
Do we have any questions from the audience?
Hey, quick question. I noticed when you listed up the most successful companies in Russia, not King.com and Rovio were there. How is casual games like Match-3, these top-selling games in the Western world? How do they do in Russia?
They are doing nice, but they are not, I don't know, for some reason, they are not in the top grossing. So because if you know a penny, you can check out top grossing companies and just top companies by the audience. So probably they are one of top companies by the audience because yes, like Match-3 are incredibly huge in Russia. But as for grossing, Machine Zone is bigger.
Final question. Did I read correctly that your company has 93% of the internet?
Absolutely, yeah. Basically, we own, as we own the largest social networks, it means that we own mostly like all the audience in Russia.
So does it belong to Putin? Just kidding.
Sorry?
just kidding. I had to ask, sorry.
Sorry, I didn't hear the question.
Can you repeat that question?
Is Putin the owner, or who owns it? 93%?
Unfortunately not. No.
Just kidding.
Well, as far as I know, not. We had dinner yesterday with him. He said me no.
Any more questions?
Okay, thank you guys. Yeah, enjoy your least like stay in Amsterdam.
Yeah, if you want to talk to her, you can see her outside those doors.